Hello, guys. Good evening. I hope you can hear me and you can see me well. Sometimes we do have problems with the sound, but I have tested the microphones, and most likely, if there will be some problems, this will be because of connection. So please confirm that everything is fine and I'm audible and visible. And I am very happy to see all of you here with me right now from very different places. Greetings to all of your beautiful oblasts and cities. And thank you for spending this evening, this morning, this day with us. Once again, if there will be some problems with audio and video, guys, it will be because of the connection. Because right now the connection seems okay and you can clearly see me well. AJ, so happy you're joined. Hello, sister. First of all, once again, we are in a beautiful team of my friends who also fight Russian trolls, and this is Rudy and Spencer. And Martin is working from the distance, supporting us. And thank you so much for joining. And also, I want to send special greetings to Trev, who brought Yorkshire weather to Ukraine. And now we have this classical Yorkshire weather, I hope. And also, Francois, happy to see you. Happy to see you, Frederick, Alex, and so many good people with us. Yoda, oh, you know who Roxolana is. Thank you so much for joining. And Michael. So, and all of you beautiful people. We have really bad weather in Lutsk. It's quite cold for the start of October and very rainy. Let me know what is the weather like in your countries. Eric, greetings to Vancouver and my favorite Shabona Lake Oblast. Honestly, I dream to see Shabona Lake, and it's a beautiful environment, people, of course, and even all those animals that I know are there. So we see that the weather does not seem very kind to you too. 10 Celsius, greetings to Belgium, rain, and that's exactly what we have right now. Germany called since last week, which is another proof that Ukraine is very much Europe, because we have just the same weather as you do. No bombs in London yet. Congratulations. In our turbulent time, this is really good. Sun in the UK, and now it is dusk. Sister, right here, it's already night. I'd say very, very dark. Greetings to Virginia and Ohio. And hello, Mark. Thank you for joining us. William, thank you so much for buying me coffees. And let us know in the comments what the weather like around your area. And it's a nice dry weather in Norway. Greetings to Virginia. In New York City, 74 Fahrenheit, and I have to learn how to count that. Nice guy, Rudy. And in Los Angeles, it is definitely warmer than in New York, 11 degrees Fahrenheit more than. Thank you so much. And actually, you know, as I describe this weather from your beautiful parts of the world, I feel that weather is indeed a good topic to speak about, you know. Back at school, plus 12 in Alberta, Calgary. And greetings to Poland, Adam. I will be in Poland next week for a short business trip, very interesting one, where I will teach about the influence like that social media can do for an NGO. I will be lecturing with very serious people, and I feel very honored. Perfect weather in Valhalla. Okay. Greetings to the Netherlands and Wales. Yeah. Well, 200 Ks, I'm sure of friends, this will be great. We will celebrate 201 or 205 because number 200 does not have very positive associations in Ukraine right now. You know that those soldiers that are transported from the front lines who are wounded, they are often have like 300 number. Cargo 300. I don't like to speak about the people that way, and 200 is for those that were murdered. So 200 is not the nice number here. So perhaps I hope we will reach 201, 205, and that's when we will celebrate. 39 degrees Celsius. Where is it so hot, Mark? It's insane. And 30 in New Orleans. Guys, you are lucky. And greetings to Norway. I think that the weather in Norway is sunny and dry, as it was mentioned by someone here. Thank you so much for joining me today. Once again, I'm very happy to be with you. And, I will share with you something YouTube personal. When you reach 100,000 subscribers, you get YouTube Manager who works with you for a year. Well, they don't really work a lot, but they introduce you to some like interesting things that YouTube can offer, analyze the health of the channel. And I have a really good YouTube partner. We can meet like once in 2 months. It's not very often. And at the same time, she says like, Anna, your community is insane. With all the channels that I work, I don't see such connection between the creator and the subscribers. And I say it's because we are not a creator and subscribers. It's because we are Anna from Ukraine and friends. And I indeed feel that way. Because it was never my intention to become a vlogger, but it is definitely my intention to speak about my country, and I'm very grateful that there are things that you want to discover about Ukraine. We are a family, we are friends, and that's why I want to send special greetings and vibes of good things to Pat. Hopefully you're watching, and you know that we love you. Francois, we're a family, and AJ, yes, this is so true, and I greatly value that. Thank you so much for your support, Blonde Bombsheller. What a beautiful nickname. And well, you can become a member of the channel. Like I've meant like all the subscribers, all the people who are subscribed and with whom we fight for freedom and democracy in this world. But if you want to join as a sponsor, there are a number of options that YouTube offers. Thank you so much, Blondie, for giving this support to others. And thank you so much for all the coffees, to all of my patrons who make more things possible for the channel. And and let's start discussing the things that were mentioned in the description of our life, and that is sabotage in Russia. Hello, Sherry and Robert. Hi. So I want to start with a question because, like I'm here in this part of the world where we know a lot about Russia and its dark past. Greetings to Germany, but my question will be, and like I want you to be honest and express what you think without like any thoughts that we will support Anna and so on. Do you believe that Russian war in Ukraine can end because of some civil movements, some protests inside Russia? Do you believe that a certain moment in time, I don't know, when things get worse for them economically, or when Putin starts mobilization, that people in Russia will organize in some movement, civil, political, military coups, and protest? And I hear some questions like, nope, never. I gave up hope on that long ago. And it is okay. Yes, but led by some political or military group. Um, okay, and no, it is not possible. So I see that the majority dictatorships never collapse from within. No. No, and not in Iran. Yeah, I agree. So yeah, press like. You are right. Press like so that more people can join and watch our conversation together. You see that like the majority of people say no, zero chance. And once again, it's not because we are pessimistic. Honestly, I'd be happy to believe. Thank you so much, Bruce, for your sponsorship. Honestly, I'd be see and understand that there is a chance that Russians will shake this evil regime from inside, and then we will shake from outside, and together with this pressure we can achieve better results. But at this moment, yeah, I don't hope anything positive to come out. I have never seen any like normal political or civil processes inside Russia. I don't know about such from the history. And what is also very, very bad is the fact that um, for decades, Russia was very negative towards any kind of individualism and the way you express or protest. My beautiful friend who's now watching us, I asked, like, I will not reveal names because I never know whether you want it or not, but I remember how we discussed some protests in France against the new prime minister. And I got a very natural response that it is very okay for France to have some protests whenever something big changes. And I can tell you something similar is characteristic for Ukraine too. It's kind of okay that you express it's not hooliganism, it's not something criminal. It is very okay to demonstrate that you want to change something in your country. Maybe your protest will not bring a change, but at least people will see. Thank you so much. At least you will see the feelings inside of your country. So when I've received this like answer, it's very healthy, it's very normal for France to protest whenever some major decision is made. I realized that for Russia it's impossible. And during this decade, they were trying to depict any kind of protest or revolution in Ukraine as something very bad. And honestly, it was very difficult for us Ukrainians to counterfight this propaganda and yes, Francois, yes. So it was really difficult to fight, and there are still people who believe that like Maidan was a coup or Orange Revolution was a coup, when in reality these were Ukrainian people taking control of Ukrainian country when they don't like a pro-Russian president, actually artificially elected with the help of Russian FSB. They wanted Belarus. They did not get Belarus in Ukraine because we value freedom very much, I realized that, that I'm a linguist. I'm a PhD in linguistics, and there are some like borderline disciplines when sometimes like psychology and anthropology and language, they inter what? um, and there are concepts that represent our cultures. And for Ukraine, it is definitely an example of freedom. Like concept of freedom is extremely valued here. Intersect. Thank you so much. Intertwine. So many beautiful words, and I actually know them, but this even happens with a native language. And by the way, many of you compliment my English, and that's because of you, because all of you corrects me, you give me different complex words, and I like to incorporate them. Also, I write and read in English more now, so thank you so much. So for us, this freedom we actually have even two words, voля и svoboda, which means quite like similar things, but they are super important for us. And it's super, super valuable for the nation. And many people inside Russia, they don't understand how come you are ready to fight, how come you are ready to live in very difficult consequences just because you will not obey to our ruler. We obey to our ruler, we think he is cool, and you don't want it. No, because we value individual freedom, and that's why we go on protest whenever we feel it is important. There was also a very good idea from Sarah, perhaps, that this kind of protest inside Russia is possible when oligarchs will be dissatisfied with Putin. Yes, I agree. This is very likely. But at the same time, this is not a kind of protest. This is not a civil movement. This is another criminal coup in this case, when one criminal is substituted by another, uh, criminal. There is no connection between vola and violation. Ukrainian is a different language, not the German, not the English. So I don't see similar roots, vola and violation. What is important is that, yes, if any changes, like rapid changes, are possible inside the Kremlin, this will definitely be something Prigozhin style, but maybe better organized, when they realize that, one mafia boss taking out by another, Carl. But this is not what I meant. I meant people inside Russia organizing and doing something. And no one here believes this is possible. And actually, that's sad. Volition, sorry, I don't know the word. I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Lee, for buying the coffee. And I don't know such a word. And I was speaking about my good English, Vapaus, if I'm reading it right, that's freedom in Finnish. That is why it is so important to understand that those people who choose this observation mode, hoping that democratic movements will grow in Russia, unfortunately, it does not work like that with them. You don't see any symptoms coming, and they don't know how's that. It's just I don't know, never teach your child reading and hope that he or she will start reading by itself. Russians cannot imagine what democracy is. And there are, at the same time, symptoms that many of them are dissatisfied. And what they can do is... thank you so much, because I love freedom in Finland too. What they do is they demonstrate the small acts of disrespect. And I don't know if you've read about that, and I actually thought it can be a topic for a video. Greetings to Ireland. That is in Novosibirsk, which is in Siberia, in the Russian Federation. They burned an FSB office. An FSB office in Novosibirsk. Someone broke the window and put this cocktail of Molotov or some minor explosive inside, and it led to fire inside. And actually, that is quite a brave act taken into account. Thank you so much, David. It is actually quite a brave act, taking into account that people are very frightened in Russia, and they are very suppressed, and they don't know how to express themselves. So we may say it's cool. And also recently you've seen and we've seen some of their military neutralized, including collaborators, because unfortunately, on temporarily occupied territories, there were people who started collaborating with the Russian regime. And this is also something that we need to illustrate, that such actions are punished by karma. And also, there was, thank you so much, Neuropilot, and you have a very nice nick, quite unusual. Yeah, 2 kids destroyed helicopters in Russia, Oms, you are right. Thank you so much, Lukasz, for buying me coffees and your support. But sabotage of railways, that often happens. There is a very strong partisan movement in Belarus. Belaruski Hayun, they often report various things that they see. And I honestly believe that one of the main reasons that like Putin does not use Belarus army is that he understands that, first of all, this may lead to serious protests in Belarus, something that was in 2020. And second, that they may switch on our side and actually liberate Belarus from Lukashenko. So this is also very cool. Thank you so much, Johnny. And it would be great, like, to see something similar happening. And they have Telegram channels, and they typically describe the movement of Russian troops. And they report about they destroy railways there too, because, unfortunately, Russians often use Belarus as a platform for attacks. So, well, I cannot tell you at the moment that Ukrainian and Belarus culture are that close, but languages are. At this moment, Belarus, thank you so much, Marcos. At this moment, unfortunately, Belarus is very Russified and Sovieticized. Is it a word? Thank you so much. Cheers, Marcus. That's just cola. I never drink online. So with these railways, with FSBs, at the beginning there were some epidemic of fires on Russian conscription offices, and hopefully it will happen more and more often if Putin announces mobilization, and that is something very likely. Thank you so much, Desert Fox. Taking into account that sometimes they use Malorussia. Yeah, if you are asking about these terms that Russians try to use, they want to like Rus is an ancient name with the heart in Kiev. This was a medieval state, beautiful medieval state coming from Kiev. And Rus is actually not Russia. And I loved an explanation in one book, I don't remember which, but I totally agree with that Rus is not Russia, just as Romania is not Rome, even though you have things that may sound similar, like Romania is not Rome, Russia is not Rus. And at that medieval times, it was common to name different parts of Rus, like Red Rus, Small Rus, White Rus. And now they were trying to create first this image of Malo Russia and like small Russia, or Novo Russia, new Russia. But these are Russian propaganda narratives where they try to undermine the independence of Ukraine and the history of Ukraine that definitely outdates Russia. I don't know if all of you love history, but you do have to know that Kyiv is 665 years older than Moscow. That's why I hate when, this Russian trolls come and they start saying things like Russia is your father. What is interesting in our languages, in Slavic languages, in Ukrainian, in Belarus, in Russian, we have thank you so much, Neil, and special greetings to you. Remember to like, and thank you so much, Reggiano Gray. So we have genders, and it's kind of complex when you learn the language because a cup is of a feminine gender, the table is of the male gender. I know I have people like from Germany here, and that's kind of difficult. Guys, we have, like, you haven't heard a lot about F-16s. We were given like 4 F-16s and we need 100. That's why you don't hear a lot about them. If we get at least 50, 30, it will be visible. Unfortunately, at the moment, we have them just like to back up some of Ukrainian positions. We risk them on missions. One of the worst things about the supplies is that there are lots of articles, lots of politicians quarreling about them, and then you get 10% of everything that was discussed. And then they tell you you have to wait for the 90 during the next 3 years. And you realize that in Ukraine, we don't plan that long. Thank you so much, Cynthia, and thank you so much, Duncan. Thank you for all of your support. And, in Ukraine, unfortunately, we never planned that far. And I love it when people tell me, we will be in Ukraine in November in a year. We would like to discuss something with you. And just like, guys, here in Ukraine, first of all, we need to survive. I don't know what will be in December in my city. So, how can I plan what will be in November 2025? And whenever we are given this like excuse that you will get F-16s by summer 2025. Okay, where will we be? What will happen to our people? Thank you so much, Philip, for buying me coffee. So that's why it's so sometimes stressful. But Kiev Rus was founded long ago. I don't think there is a precise date of its foundation, but Kiev is 665 years older than Moscow. And I was speaking about these genders that we have in our languages. And that's why both Ukraine and, I don't use bad words, Russia are feminine. So if these trolls had good instructions, they would know that Russia is not a father. Even for Russian people, Russia is a mother. But it cannot be a mother of Kiev if it appeared on the swampy lands of Zalesye, like 6 centuries after Kiev. So unfortunately, that's sad. I see you discussed t-shirts. I hope you discussed our t-shirts because we have a new Halloween collection. Last year you liked it, guys, and we have some really good orc fighter things. I will share the link here. And there are some questions. Do you feel you are well enough prepared for this winter? I don't know how to answer this question, honestly, because like I have an EcoFlow and today it was connected to my heating system. So I will have heat and I will have my internet and I will have my computer. And I think that's enough for me. But it all depends on what will be happening this winter, how heavily they will attack our energy infrastructure, how cold the winter will be. I feel very bad for people on the front lines because, Ukraine is a very big country. And yesterday, someone beautifully asked me about the number of time zones we have in Ukraine. We have one. And that might be surprising because I know many of your countries have lots of time zones. Ukraine is big. We are the largest country in Ukraine, but At the same time, we have one time zone, but the weather differs greatly. For example, right now in my part of Ukraine, it's cold and rainy. And for example, in the south and east, it may be much hotter. And there were moments like when it can be like plus 12 in my area and plus 25 in Donbass. But at the same time, thank you so much, James. Cheers to you and 50 virtual hugs your way. Thank you for this support. I'm honestly very honored to feel this backup and to be able to work more. And what we thank you. And you made lots of good people members, and this is great. So at the same time, the climate in the east and south of Ukraine is very like continental, and that's why they have very, very cold winters. Like, once again, perhaps, Trev, we do resemble Yorkshire here because we have like more rainy, more foggy climate. It will be not that hot. It may be too damp. And in the east, it's drier, but at the same time, it may be much hotter in summer and much colder in winter. So for Kharkiv region, for example, it is totally okay to have like, I don't know, minus 12 Celsius, minus 15 Celsius. Thank you so much, Eldon. And for people in trenches, when it's so cold and they cannot get out because there are lots of enemies around, there are snipers working, there are drones flying, it's awful. And that's why, from one point of view, we realize that when winter comes, all this like movements on the front lines, thank you so much, John, like Santa. It is, no, we are not restricting who can support. Anyone can support. And what is, like, from one point of view, all active combat actions can like freeze in winter because it's really difficult to move. It's difficult for the Ukrainian defenders, which is bad. It's difficult for the Russian invaders, which is good. But at the same time, before that, they are working hard to get more of the Ukrainian territories, and it's really difficult to stay there during winter. I think spring and autumn are the easiest months because it can be really hot in the trenches, on the front lines. Not all not all the front lines are trenches. Thank you so much, Scott, for buying me coffee and all of your support. So, of course, there was a question about electricity. Right now, in my region, we don't have outages, and the majority of regions that are far away from the front lines, where they rarely target infrastructure, plus we did not have the need to use air conditioners. The heating system has just started. So it was enough of electricity, but we all know winter will be difficult. And I actually plan to share more on the channel of this like eco flow and other stuff so that you can see more of the everyday Ukrainian life. Let me know in the comments below, would you like it on the channel? Because sometimes I feel like, no, you're not late, you're on time. Because sometimes I feel like maybe it's a little bit distracting you from the important things, but that is as it is. Hi, Живе вільна Україна. I totally agree with you, and I'm very grateful for these words from you, and I'm very grateful to Morten for the coffees and Mark for your support. So at this moment, we can see, one more interesting news that I wanted to share with you. I don't know if it appeared on your media. Once again, maybe Ukraine is not in the center of attention right now. And what do the fighters on the front need most at the moment? There will be two answers. Number one, weapons. Number two, people. They don't need food. They don't need uniform. In general, I think the majority have enough like medicines, and there are things that work well with that, but they need weapons. Because what is crazy with conscription, and many people were speaking that it's so difficult for Ukraine to conscript people, we managed, we did good. And now we have 14 brigades and 4 brigades of very motivated people, young people, not like tired people. They stand, they are not on the front lines, they are not near to the front lines. Do you know why? They don't have weapons. Literally, they don't have weapons. Well, like everything, starting from artillery shells and finishing with missiles and tanks and armored vehicles. Thank you so much, Yoda. Glory to Yoda. Thank you so much for your support and for strengthening the community of the channel. I'm sure lots of people are grateful and love you. So yeah, winter has protected Russia for centuries. You are right, my dear friend, but at the same time, I know like I have a lot of people who write emails with advice, and I really like it when, thank you so much, Joel. I really like it when you give me advice on the English language. Thank you so much, Oms, for your support. I really like it when you give me advice about my English, when you provide me with the information about your countries, about some things in NATO, EU, the politics of the United States that I don't understand. But there are many things that people advise. Thank you so much, Edwin. Not knowing anything about like Ukraine, but they are 100% sure that like they know how to do, they know how to beat Russia. It's just a matter of me telling to Zaluzhny or Syrsky. And one of the things that people often tell me is about this winter. And they say like winters in Russia are insane. Like you have to be ready that like we live kind of close to Russia. Yes, of course, in Siberia, in far east Russia, they are crazy. But let's say in Kursk or in Belgorod, winters are just like in Chernihiv or Kharkiv. So for me, for Ukrainian army, for example, Russian winter is not something unusual unless we go to the Urals, Siberia, or elsewhere. So some things that may be unusual, let's say for French soldiers or for Spanish soldiers, are very, very similar for Ukrainians. Thank you so much, Bruce. So in general, it's quite common, and winter is difficult like for everyone, and for me, even far away from the front lines, because that's definitely not my season. Tell me, please, is there anyone who loves winter here in the chat? And I still read thank yous to Yoda, and thank you for all of you being here. Snow is good for me, but just for 2 weeks, I think. I'm drinking cola with no whiskey or rum in it. I have people who love winter. Okay. Strong people you are. So I think after we liberate Russia, there will be some tourists coming to experience a Russian winter. Okay. I think that, oh, Alaska, that's different. Like when it's super winter, I guess it's fun. But here in Ukraine, greetings, Soren. We often have like very dirty winter with slush, with freezing rains, and if it's really cold and frosty, and then it's good. So winter is going to be hard everywhere, and hopefully Ukraine will continue targeting Russian oil refineries. Honestly, I've missed that. For some period of time, we did not receive any updates from new Russian oil depots on refineries targeted, and I was actually quite alarmed because I'm always very worried that people may start stopping us from something that we do effectively. I hated that at the very start of our strategy to target Russian oil refineries, they wanted to stop us. And I was worried that maybe they began doing it again because no updates. And voila, yesterday we had this really good information about one destroyed in Perm and another in Voronezh, and it had a beautiful name, Anna Nefteprodukt. Remember to like the video, we can actually get 1,000. And last time we broke the record. We had 2,000 likes, and that was insane. I was super proud, and actually our last live was the largest. Okay, I see lots of people who love winter. So this is actually cool that we have neutralized this oil depots, and I love it when they explain how many things we neutralized, and when you realize these are 53 cars, train cars of fuel that would have been used to fuel Russian front machines on the front lines or to get money for Russian military economy, then I am super happy to know that it was neutralized. Yeah, Anna's oil products. Okay. Thank you so much, Stefan, and thank you so much, someone, for buying me coffee. And in Portugal, the winter must be much better, I think. Yeah. Well, Newcastle BP oil forever. I don't know. What could I do there. No, I don't have any pets. But today I was approached by a cat, and if you want to see video of a cat doing this to me, you can find it on the Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. I share some everyday life things there. You can find the links in the descriptions of all of my videos, and also on my page of the channel, so you can literally join me there too. I'm also on X and Threads. I do know Artur Ray, and he's a great voice in the support of Ukraine, and also he's really great with his campaigns. But I was so happy to be in Kyiv last Friday with our NAFO campaign. This was our third campaign, and you made me so proud of our community because we have brought many drones, and like the focus of our campaign was not trucks, because trucks are good, but I wanted them to be weapons, and you wanted them to be weapons. So we brought lots of FPVs, and these are not simple FPVs. These are interceptors, some night drones, 3 Mavics, which is great. And I was happy. I've met the Skylords. This is the unit that came to get them. And on the next day, like maybe 2 days later, they've sent me the photos of our drones working. There were some inscriptions that are not very polite because they've sent the wishes to the invaders. And this is really cool. I've shared that on Instagram once again. So this is really, really, really cool. Greetings to British Columbia. And what I wanted to share with you, and I was asking if you heard about that, but according to Ukrainian data, uh, there 6 like North Korean military officers were neutralized somewhere on the front lines. So they start bringing not just North Korean missiles, but North Korean kamikaze here, which also demonstrates that they are just very desperate, and Putin does everything not to like mobilize people, because he realizes this time they can actually touch some cities, and that may lead to more information, more dissatisfaction, and at the same time they actually start getting people from Nepal, from North Korea. And I honestly feel very sorry for these people who know nothing about Russian winters, who know nothing about this kind of warfare, and they come here for nothing. Once again, I want to thank Spencer and Rudy, who are working hard. I hope we don't have lots of trolls, but we have lots of good people. So yeah, we do have a slow mode, because literally I cannot read everything, and you can post a comment every 2 minutes, which is okay. That's an approximate amount of time that the person types. Thank you so much, Desert Fox, for your support. So right, North Korea definitely supports Putin, and now, according to Ukrainian intelligence, like the 50% of the missiles now used by Russia are of North Korean origin. And that is really that is really sad, because it also demonstrates how desperate Russia is. And I hate it when people start saying, "Oh, should we support Ukraine if Ukraine cannot win by itself? Maybe it's not a real country if you cannot win without us," and so on. And at the same, mobilization went well. We have 14 new brigades, and we lack weapons and artillery for 4 of them. They are waiting for the supplies from the partners. The partners are a little bit slow, maybe because they still think it's possible to negotiate with Putin. Or I honestly hate the idea that so many people protect Russia. I mean, like politicians, and they are very much afraid that Russia will be defeated and Russia will collapse. So we are fighting with Russia, taking into account we should not cause much harm to it. This is very, very, very wrong. Every country needs friends, and I'm really happy that our friends are not North Koreans. And approximately 50% of missiles that they use right now are of North Korean origin. I'm really glad that we have destroyed a lot of them in numerous Russian arsenals that we have also destroyed. For example, in Tver, if I'm not mistaken, and other regions, this is a very good epitome. But at the same time, I have used the word officers wrongly, because we have a very big difference in Ukrainian language and English language, the way we name ranks of the military. And I guess that's something that I have to learn. But I meant these are not infantry soldiers, but people above them. So they are not like commanders, but I have already been introduced to the difference between colonel and colonel. But in Ukraine, it's like different, and the same sergeant, it means totally different rank in my language than it does in the English. But I will work on that. What is important? Thank you so much, West Coast Canuck, for your support and for your friendship. I value that a lot. So 50% of the missiles that Russia uses are actually the missiles that it gets from North Korea. So those people who say that, oh, Ukraine cannot win by itself, then it's not the real country, then perhaps we should sacrifice it to Russia. Please have a look. North Korea, Iran, and big China now help Russia out. If they did not help Russia, if they did not provide it with weapons, drones, details for weapons, Russia would not be able to continue this war. So at this moment, we have Russia, North Korea, Iran, China fighting. Would you like it to be just one Ukraine? Even in the world of superheroes, that wouldn't be possible. Plus, it is also very illustrative that they are not fighting just against Ukraine. They are fighting against democratic values. They want to undermine the world order, and they definitely want to demonstrate the weakness of what they call West. And that's why it's so important to fight against them together. And actually, it's quite good if we manage to stop them on the Ukrainian territory. It was not a choice for us to live here. I mean, in times of war, it was not our choice that our country is a battlefield, but we don't have an option. We have to defend it. And it's definitely good that if we just not defeat Russia simply, but demilitarize it and lead to some serious reforming processes inside the country. I have a question. Thank you so much, Lorraine, for your support and sponsorship. I have numerous questions about Yulia Tymoshenko, like repeating. I don't know why. She was a cute lady. She is still in politics. She is a deputy in Ukrainian parliament, but she's not popular because she's this old style politician, you know, like coming back from the Soviet times. So she's definitely like smart, but she's not a hero here in Ukraine or something. Just like a person that was a candidate for the president like 15 years ago. She is in the parliament, but no, she was just like old school politicians supporting some oligarchic clan. So well, like she's not bad, but she's not. Okay, I see people discussing the officer thing. Thank you so much, Marcus. Thank you for your support. So definitely our community is growing stronger, and I'm very grateful for that. Invite your friends to join the community so that we can get more friends and more subscribers. I really value that when we have the opportunity to express more and more information about Ukraine, because unfortunately there are still too many voices repeating Russian propaganda. And thank you so much, Ben. I will ask you a question, and I'd like to read some answers too. Like long-range missiles, that is definitely a thing. Do you think Ukraine will be allowed to strike back sometime soon? I mean, like in a month or two before the new US president? Do you think this will happen? I wish something like Putin would jump out of the window or drink some poison tea. Okay, I see some people saying yes, some people say no. Some people say, I hope so, so am I. After the elections, no long-range missiles, let's protect Russia. That sometimes we have like very bad memes here in Ukraine that we don't share. And it says, like one of them says, friends, you have closed the wrong sky. Meaning that many are not ready to close the sky about Ukraine, but are ready to close the sky above Russia. This is how it feels here in Ukraine, honestly, because there are some very like vivid arguments why we should be allowed to demilitarize Russia, and that's actually good, not just for Ukraine. Thank you so much, Ron Forrest, for your support and continued friendship. This means a lot. So yeah, we have 1,000 likes, and we encouraged us to do so. I'm very sorry if you are surrounded by Russian propaganda. Where are you from? I do understand it can be very toxic, and we have to be careful with that. And unfortunately, it's really, really difficult to counterfight it because there are some regions where Russia dominates informationally, and it's difficult to debunk the myths that exist. Many people equate actually I see honestly, oh, an interesting fact, I don't know if you have noticed that the majority of people who support Russia, who like Russia, I mean nations and cultures, are actually those that are very far away from Russia, know literally nothing about Russia, and they have this image from, I don't know, old Soviet films and greetings to Turkey, and they think that they know a lot. When you take a look at what is happening, for example, around Russia, the countries like Finland, like Poland, like Lithuania, that live close to Russia, they don't need uh, anything. Like, they know Russia is evil. They know we have to fight against their imperial policy. And this is actually very funny that those who know Russia don't need an explanation why we have to support Ukraine and to support our fight against these authoritarian regimes. And those people who know nothing about Russia start saying that no, Russia is big, Russia is strong, and so on. So this is actually, yeah, from Finland, can confirm. You see, so my advice to those people coming from faraway islands and literally never feeling what Russia is, trust those nations that were a part of the Russian Empire, trust those nations that were occupied by the Soviet Union. Why do you believe like some fairy tales if you have never experience that? Georgia right now suffers greatly because of the Russia funded politicians, and Russia does a lot of special operations thank you for your support, Neil, political special military operations. We witness that, we see that. And don't always think that people, like, I'm sure you've experienced this moments in your countries when like your government did not fully represent what you feel like about that. Like, you may have totally different things, and I do have some friends in Georgia who are very sad about what is happening there, and they feel very devastated actually with the fact, another fact that is not on the news, how many Russians who fled mobilization, who did not oppose war but actually fled mobilization, how many of these Russians to move to Georgia, and right now they start businesses, they buy out Georgian businesses, and people feel that they will have like, it's very dangerous because they can seriously change this identity of the country. And what is the problem with this Russian immigration? That they never move to learn from you, to follow your rules. Like, when in Rome, do as Romans do. They start dictating, and they start saying that, like, wow, that's also Russia. It was Russia. They disrespect. They never learned the language of the country, and it's actually very hard now for the Georgians, and I feel sorry for them. And honestly, I don't think it is the end, and some things may actually change. Thank you so much. Ukraine is noble and brave. A good example. Thank you so much, Mr. Nobody. That is a very beautiful message that I wanted to quote. Guys, tell me please a question, because you are like a very core of our community. We are getting back to filming some Sunday, Saturday specials. With Sasha, you know, we were working. We got a troll. I see, like, guys, they like a surprise, you know, like a rabbit in the garden. And West Canuck actually right now offers really good books to read. So I haven't noticed the troll, but I'm sure our police will do that. So anyway, I am coming back to filming with Sasha, and I will pass my hello to him. He's okay, working, and so I was thinking about like topics that you'd like to see there. And I feel like with all my optimism that Discover Ukraine was not that popular as, let's say, Soviet Myths Debunked, taken into account the views. So what would you like it to be more like Discover Ukraine style, or Soviet Myths Debunked, or Russian crimes? Thank you so much, Sean. So it's actually interesting to know what is like more interesting for you. Yeah. And let's make 1500 of likes during this stream. Rat in the garden. Yeah, that's about the troll. So educational, all of them. Soviet myths debunked. Yeah, I dream about Ukraine in EU and NATO, and I honestly believe we deserve that. I hope there are some symptoms that free Crimea is coming, because, you know, recently there are lots of satellite images how Russians, like crazy, try to safeguard Kerch Bridge, and they bring lots of constructions underwater, and they also brought all of their air defense to the area. And this is actually a sign that something is coming. And this is what makes me believe that maybe we will be allowed to. Anna's book, yeah, I'm working. I'm now doing the difficult stuff, cleaning, editing, and soon I will need this test readers. Plus, I will need serious test readers, not the kind ones who will tell me everything is okay. Thank you so much. Greetings to Sweden, and thank you for saying that you like the channel. It means a lot to me, honestly. This is just like one of my important things. And of course, thank you to Spencer and Rudy for doing what they do. I feel much better with them, not just safer, but much better because they are friends. So, Russians are trying to secure the Kerch Bridge, and it's very important symbolically. And I actually describe why in the video that will come today. NATO needs Ukraine. Europe needs Ukraine. Thank you so much, Douglas, and thank you so much, Kay, for your support. Honestly, I am asking you to please persuade people. All of this information about that like we all need each other. And I'm very grateful whenever you tell me, you share the stories, how you've spoken with your neighbors, with your colleagues, with your friends, with your relatives, and all of that, because there are still people who want to remain neutral or indifferent, and it is totally important. What do you think is possible after defeating the aggressor? Well, I think it's very likely that Russia will collapse, and many new countries will appear, and we don't have to be afraid of that. Yeah, so okay. Thank you for your advice. And by the way, I will share that in the community tab. Recently, I was on UR TV. Thank you so much, Steve. I was on UR TV with Denis Davidov. I know many of you watch him. And we were actually discussing with beautiful Yulia on what may happen after the defeat of Russia. So you may actually check it. I will soon share a link in the community tab, but if you want to watch it now, so it is there. And we have like different thoughts, but all of them are actually interesting and quite realistic. Yeah, the Gaze digital platform. Thank you for sharing and managing that. Thank you. I'm grateful that Carl watched it, and hopefully, most of you will like watch if you like it. I'm very, very yeah. I had a lot of interviews, but I'm actually honored whenever I have an opportunity to spread more information about Ukraine, and I honestly think it's not enough. It's not enough. So whenever you can connect me to some platforms that want to learn more about Ukraine, the situation there, I will be very happy to join that. And also, greetings to Norway. I see we have lots of people watching us from Norway, and I want to confess I dream to visit your beautiful country, honestly. Today, there will be one more video, and this video will be about Russian soul down today, and we don't know for sure who did that, Ukrainian army or Russians did that themselves. Sometimes it's pathetic how negligent they are, but I don't mind. I like the result. Thank you so much, and greetings to Denmark. And this video will tell you more. There are different versions, different reasons, but I don't mind. And also 3 Russian command points were destroyed with Storm Shadow strikes, which is perhaps on the territory of Ukraine, but this is good. So remember to watch and share those videos that you like. Also, I've mentioned already love from North Korea. It would be interesting if you could watch YouTube from North Korea. Let's get it to 1,500 likes. That would be great, because right now on my counter, I see 1,352. Thank you so much, Tony, for buying me coffees and your support. And no, I don't want Russian territory. No one in Ukraine suffers with. Martin has joined us. Martin is home. Flintstone voice. I would like to hear your Fred Flintstone voice, Martin. Please, maybe for a birthday or Christmas, could you congratulate me with your Fred Flintstone voice? Thank you so much. I'm really happy that you were back home. And yeah, let's go to 100K subscribers and all of those good things. I'm really looking forward, and perhaps we will have some good party. Maybe Kurt's Bridge will be on fire exactly when we get 201,000 subscribers. That would be actually very good. So I was talking about the video that will be on the channel later. Also, I wanted to thank Blue Eyes for becoming the sponsor and giving its sponsorship to many people in our community. That is really great, and I'm very grateful for all the opportunities that you give. And Peter, thank you so much for the messages and your support and that wisdom. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Marcus. And yes, smash that like button for our girl Anna, please. I like it. And a Kerch Bridge, yeah, it would be really good if Kerch Bridge was on fire the moment we get 1,000 subscriber. And also, once again, you can check the merch shop. I know some of you celebrate Halloween, and we try to encode actually messages that can help that can help us remind about Ukraine in maybe funny but at the same time important manner. And my favorite this time is perhaps Orc Fighter. YouTube is too sensitive for such things, but shops fortunately are not. Also join me on Instagram, X, Reds, and Martin invites, and Michael, and all the good people invite you to Discord. I see that. I honestly love it. How you ask each other questions, how you read the updates from each other. The test is successful. So, this is another proof that we have shaped a very strong community here, so that even YouTube managers are surprised, and they've seen a lot. They've seen channels like with millions of subscribers, but that's different. And there was one troll. I don't know. Spencer will tell you he was running looking for Martin, but did not find you. uh, and also in the comments below, because I read comments below all of your videos. Let me know about the stories, about the topics that you would like us to discover in Discover Ukraine, or Soviet Myths Debunked series, or Russian crimes. Honestly, I think we will prepare something like Russian Paradox, something that was about the Kremlin children and all this conspiracies and crazy stuff that is happening in this rotten, evil empire, to persuade people that no, Russia is definitely not strong. Because honestly, many of the wrong decisions in this world are made because of lack of knowledge. I'm not sure I can use the word ignorance here. Let me know, my dear native speakers, because for me, ignorance seems like ignorance is bliss. I've learned that at the university. But is it okay to say like lots of mistakes are made because of ignorance, when I mean that lots of people are brainwashed and know nothing about Russia and think about it based on these assumptions that are outdated or totally wrong? And I'm looking, yeah, news about cutting off resupply trains and trucks. That's good. I love all these updates, and you know that my favorite topics. Thank you so much, Ed, for buying me coffee. And you know that I especially like our geography lessons. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. I thought that ignorance has some positive attitudes. Okay, so thank you for all these ideas, and I will be looking forward for them in the comments. I'm actually happy that Martin made it and joined our beautiful team here, and I want to thank all of you for all the work and support that I feel daily. And most importantly, people in my country. I'm really happy that I'm Ukrainian blogger in Ukraine right now, because I think that honestly, the best way to feel Ukraine is to be in Ukraine. So thank you once again for being with me. I will let you. Ukraine has very good coffee. Trust me, much better than in many EU countries. Trev, thank you so much. See you. And once again, thank you for spending this evening with me. Join me on other social media. Thank you so much, Spencer, Rudy, and Martin, and Michael, and Yoda, and Pacifist, and some people that I don't read your names because I'm afraid to make a mistake. And please watch the video that will come out later. Share them on your social media platforms, and let's hope that sometime soon we will have more of the Russian geography lessons. Love you very much. Slava Ukraini!